So I'm even like more behind than you, which is very funny for me to think
It
about.
only took me 9 years to get it. It
Wow.
only took me 9 years to get to
That
this
all.
point. So yeah, you got this. Oh, girl.
That's so sad, Obed,
Oh.
because when I listen back, I hear that baritone voice come through, and I'm just like, oh, it feels so good. That tickles my brain. So hate to
It's
hear
like
you say that.
ASMR.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
ASMR,
glad
Barry
somebody enjoys
White.
it.
It's giving like the Barry White ASMR.
Welcome to the Creative Navigators.
We are two unlikely friends exploring resistance by examining the intersection of the creative process, productivity culture, and artistic expression.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Creative Navigators. I am Obed Caballero, your host, and we're also joined with Jordan.
Hello.
And today we have our guest, Anthony Arias. He is also a podcaster and a content creator. Anthony, would you like to just kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. Thanks for having me, first of all. I'm excited to be here. I was just telling you, I haven't been on anyone else's podcast and probably like, it's been like 5, 6 years. So it's exciting. Thank you
Oh,
for having me on your platform. I appreciate
yeah,
it.
we're honored. We're honored. Thank
Yes.
you.
Who am I? I mean, I started content creating Throwback Thursday. Like I'm from like the OG like Blogspot blogger. WordPress is where originated with my podcast, or not podcast, with my content creating. Then I moved into podcasting. I'd probably say probably about uh oh my gosh, like 9 years ago I started podcasting. And
Wow.
yeah, 2016, 2017, I got into podcasting, just kind of messing around. I thought I had a bunch of opinions that people needed to hear. um, and I did that for quite a while. During the pandemic, I ended up accidentally, I don't know, when like we were all losing our freaking mind. So I was just like, God,
Mhm.
like what else am I going to do? I published a book then, self-published like a fiction novel back in 2020. And then I moved into the true crime sphere of podcasting about almost 3 years ago. And then my podcast has still been going strong.
Nice. That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
safe to say that you're very busy and very creative.
Mama's been
Yeah.
around. Busy. Meow.
Yeah.
I've the creative resume is long of like, things you start and stop, and we'll get into that too. But I'm bookmarking that. Things
Sure.
starting and stopping things, I want to bookmark that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess we'll just start with like, just tell me a little bit about what is your creative practice? Like, what would you consider to be your main modes of like creation, artistic expression?
My creativity is fueled by, I would genuinely say, fueled by anxiety and mental illness. And it's like an escape for me. It's an escape for me, but I will say it really does fuel me to push me forward. I started writing when I was really young, like 4 or 5 years old. I used to like write a lot. I mean, my mom still has it. Like my writings, they're not indecipherable. They look like fucking hieroglyphics, but in my head, I was creating stuff and I was like writing. And so I started writing then, and I love drawing. And then I moved into just the idea of expressing opinions and finding your own voice in the world of creativity. And that's when I got into blogging more instead of writing just like fiction, which is kind of where my heart is at. Um, I started writing like opinion pieces and kind of moving through that. And I've moved into writing for the podcast, because I used to have a podcast that was more about like love, sex, dating, and just silliness and pop culture. And then I decided to, on a whim, I was like, I love writing. I love researching things. What if I tried my hand at true crime? And so that's kind of where I fell with that. But I also love songwriting, something I love doing, songwriting, music creation. So just a bunch of random shit.
Mhm.
Just, whatever, however I'm feeling that day, whatever I'm spiraling about, in my life, whatever it is creatively that I think will help me get out of that hole is what I kind of cling to. And whether it's something I do for like manically for like a few weeks and then like throw it away, or something that I continue consistently, like the podcast, even though I've taken a lot of long hiatuses there too. But those are kind of my main modes right
Hmm.
now.
What is it about like the format of podcasting? And I wanna subsume writing into that kind of thing too, because I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand with you, maybe. Because I feel like with your podcast, there's a lot of storytelling. So I'm wondering, what is it about podcasting, talking into the mic, expressing those ideas in that way? Like, what is it about that that really, uh, why are you drawn to that mode of storytelling? And
I think there's a level of anonymity to it. I'm a person who gets in my head a lot. I worked for a media outlet for a little bit of for several years, back in like the 2016, 17, 18s, and I did a lot of on-camera stuff. And even in high school, I used to do some on-camera stuff too. But I would get in my head a lot about on-camera content because I'm like, why did I make that face? Why did I make my eyebrows go that way? Why is my I'm gonna actually I'm gonna spiral like a fucking notebook about how my face looks on here. When I rewatch this, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm like, Anthony, why did you do that? Why is your eye doing that? Podcasting, all that's out the window because it's literally just your voice and you can
that's
just
right.
express how you feel. And you when you listen to someone's podcast, I mean, there's a few exceptions because sometimes in the art for the show, like you get an idea of who they are. Sometimes you don't know what they look like. And you just have to listen to what they're saying, and you have to listen to their style of storytelling or of sharing their opinion or their thoughts. And I think that's just something so cool about that. And that also reminds me of writing, because when you're writing, you're not focused on how you look. You're not focused on, do I look skinny? Do I look fat? Do I look, is my eye doing something crazy? Do I feel ugly? All that goes out the window when you're um, podcasting and also when you're writing. So I think that's why what drew me to the podcasting world is you get to kind of use your creativity and your imagination a lot.
Do you feel like it's like a more pure expression of whatever idea or story that you're trying to tell, and it's like more focus on my ideas or focus on the story rather than
Yes.
the person
Yes.
delivering it?
Yes, and I also love audiobooks too. So there's that. I'm a big audiobook fan.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
I go back and forth about like when I tell people about an audiobook that I read, I'm like, did I read it or did someone read it to me? And I tell people like, oh, I love that book, and I'm like, well, someone read it to me. But I do love audiobooks for that reason too, and I do think it's a more pure form of expression when it comes to creativity and your art. Because I'm a person who dealt with a lot of issues with my own personal image and obsessing over that and body issues and obviously being a fucking black gay man, being a gay man in general, it's a lot. We have so much pushed on us. And I remember when I moved to Miami in like 2016, 2015, 2016, I would work out all the time and my friends were like, you look amazing. And then I would post on Instagram and I would stare at my photo and I'm like, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. Someone else looks better. And when you're taking your creativity and your art and your passion for something and you're aligning it with these toxic ideals of how you dive into your own appearance and you're staring at yourself on camera and you're ripping yourself apart, to me it diminishes the art, and it kind of, for me at least, it diminished my art and it took away from what I was trying to get across when I got too focused on my own appearance. So I think in a way I used podcasting as a way to hide a little bit,
Mm.
and not even hiding from other people, but hiding from myself and letting myself express while not letting myself just fixate on the things that are wrong with me. Because I used to hate my voice. And then I learned I kind of like the way it sounds in a podcast. If you ask me how I look on camera, I'll be like, I like that video. I hate that video. Like that video. I hate that. Oh, why did my eye do that? So because even I've even played with the idea. Everyone tells me you should add a video component to your podcast because it will blow up. Those snippets of you talking. And I keep telling myself, like, you should do this. But I'm also like, it's going to change the art. It's not going to be fun anymore. I know myself. I will slide down that slippery pole.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Do you
yeah,
have?
I hide for
I feel like
myself.
I feel like Jordan has like something he wants to
No, I
add
just
in.
it's funny that you're talking about that because we decided to add the video component to our podcast because we were like, it might be more easy for our audience to connect with us if they could see our faces and could see us really interacting with each other. But
I think it is.
as soon as you're talking about that, like I get that where you could just focus entirely on the information and it helps not detract from the message and what you're trying to get across. I totally get that.
Yeah, and I think it does help the audience connect with you better. I think for them, it's an incredible experience to put a face with the voice, with the ideas, with the humor. I'm hiding from myself. So until I get back in therapy and like we can really work through those issues, I'm keeping my ass off camera unless I do silly stuff. Because I have a TikTok
Right.
account that's complete shenanigans. It's like unhinged. It's me wearing a million different wigs, dancing around like a fucking idiot. It's
They're very
insane.
funny.
Like I have a
It's
very
very funny.
unhinged TikTok account. It's at Carrie. What is it called? Carrie Wigshaw. It's underscore Carrie Wigshaw or Carrie underscore Wigshaw. Just type in Carrie Wigshaw. It'll come up. It's unhinged craziness. But even that, like I'll go back and watch, and I have to tell myself, leave it silly, walk away, but I haven't married the two worlds. Like I haven't even put my face to my podcast because it's like what I take seriously, and then this is like an what do you call it? Like an an activity, not an activity. What's the word I'm looking for? It's gone. The word I'm looking for, I can't find it. An exercise. It's an exercise for me in allowing myself to just exist, how I look, and just how I feel, and just being fun and silly is the TikTok. Then my creative, the things I take seriously, I'm like, whoa, I can't put my face on there. I gotta no way. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, it is, and I really get that because I'm like constantly doing that. I'm constantly in these Zoom meetings, just like staring at myself and like, oh my god,
Oh, we all
it's
stare in the Zoom. I we watch ourselves.
I can't even listen to this stuff like once it's done. It's like I have a hard time even listening to it. I'm even like more behind than you, which is very funny for me to think about.
It only took me 9 years to get it. It
Wow,
only took me 9 years to get to
that
this
all?
point. So yeah, you got this. Oh, girl.
That's so sad, Obed,
Oh,
because when I listen back, I hear that baritone voice come through, and I'm just like, oh, it feels so good that tickles my brain. So hate to
It's
hear
like
you say that.
ASMR.
Yeah.
well, I'm
ASMR.
glad
Barry
somebody enjoys
White.
it.
It's giving like the Barry White ASMR. Yes.
Well, yeah, as long as somebody enjoys it, I guess.
But that's a
Um,
real thing though in creation though.
yeah, yeah, which I guess that brings me to another kind of idea coming up. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, how
Whew.
do you overcome because you still put things out. You still put, it's like you get through the cringe or whatever, and you still put things out publicly in some form or another. And how do you personally kind of manage and in some kind of way overcome? Because it's probably not completely, but enough. There's all these like kind of blocks, right? That kind of
Yeah.
get in our way of not just creating something, but also like sharing it. So
Yeah.
what are ways or how do you kind of do that?
For me, it's compartmentalizing the art. So, for example,
Mm.
like I was saying, like the things that I take more seriously, I put them in one little box. Like my podcast is in a box, my writing is in a box. Because like, I published a book, and even for me to talk about it here, I told myself today, you have to talk about it, because I hate talking about it because I don't stand behind anything. It was a fiction book novel that I published during the pandemic. It's so pandemic heavy. I'm so cringed out by it. Like I don't remember half the characters' names. If you asked me for two characters' names, I would not be able to tell you. When I tell you, I compartmentalize that shit so far away and packed it away that I don't relate to it so much that like I literally am just now telling myself like that was an accomplishment to be proud of, and you were very proud at the time, and like you got to let yourself not be so cringed out by the art that you might not feel connected to. You can't just block it away because I'm such a heavy compartmentalizer, um, and that's like even with like my TikTok, for example. If the videos of me dancing around in a wig, being silly, if they didn't start going like semi-viral, like 100,000 or a couple 100,000 likes or views or whatever, I would have deleted them all. I still have moments where I post something, and 99% of those videos are
Uh-huh.
created while I'm drinking. And I post
Mm.
them, I leave it. My name is not associated with the Carrie Wigshop account. I mean, now it is, but it's not like, oh, this is Anthony Arias. It's like, this is Carrie Wigshaw. This is your own little funny, silly exercise to get out of your head. You're always drinking when you post it. Um, Post it and walk away. But I go back through. Oh my god, what do you call it? Like archive so much shit that I get cringed out by after I post it. Like I am not a good example of someone that's worked through it. I'm getting there, and I would never even posted the Carrie Wigshaw account and that type of content 2 years ago. I wouldn't have even 3 years ago. I probably would never have done it. So that's a big step for me. But it's also like, girl, like I got drunk. Roberta Flack. So she just
Mm.
died, right? And like most of her music is like slow, chill, whatever. So like I have one song I'm obsessed with by her. It's called "I Feel Like Making Love." It's so good, but it's like it's like a vibe. It's like slow. I was trying to convince my friend. I'm like, girl, you could fucking twerk to this shit. It's so good. And I made a video drunk after I left the fucking bar down the street and like was dancing my life away to the song. Posted it. Woke up the next morning. I was like, oh God, I hate myself. Why would I do this? I'm cringed out. I'm archiving that. And while I'm at it, I'm archiving this one that didn't get a lot of likes. People must have hated this one. I went through a whole spot. That was last week. So I don't think I won't say it never gets better, but with therapy, maybe.
Right. Well, I mean, but how many people can say they have a finished manuscript, right?
I feel
How
like
many
if you
people can
said that,
say that they have? It's true. There's so many people that talk about, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to write. I'm going to, I have so many ideas, but then following through, like, do you know what it is? You know what it is to like sit
what do you
there
mean?
and
Oh, yeah.
write day after day. And then you have a finished thing of however many words, however many pages, and it's there. It's finished. I mean, we could always use like maybe an editor or I don't know, proofread or whatever, but but you know what I'm saying? Like it's a completed object. It's a
Yeah.
thing that and you put it out there too on top of it. Like you published it. So it's like
I think I thought we
it's
were all gonna
there.
die. I feel like I thought we were all gonna die because it was like peak pandemic.
Yeah,
I'm like, if everyone hates the book, we're probably all gonna die in 6 months. So it's whatever. And then we
that's
didn't die.
whatever.
Spoiler alert: no one died, and the book is still out there. Now, just don't tell people I wrote it. Um, but yeah, I think, and also I wrote the book in 90 days.
Wow.
I don't know. I think
Wow.
that's the mental illness part, right? Of like being a person. I am diagnosed, like I have OCD and I have crippling anxiety. And I channeled it all into writing. So it was all I thought about. It was what I thought about when I woke up. It was what I thought about when I went to bed. It was what I thought about when I was on my lunch break. And I powered through and put together. It's not a big book, mind you. It's like a novelette, but
Mhm.
it's a book. It's got a spine, so it's a fucking book. And
Yeah.
I put it together, but there was just so much of me channeling like that unwell energy and things that I just did not want to deal with into that book that it got done so quickly that even now sometimes I look back and I'm like, I wish I'd like waited like a year before I published that or 6 months. But that's the thing, you got to own your art. However it comes out, you got to own it and be proud because if
Yeah,
at
I
one
think
moment you
so.
were proud, I mean it's still yours.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. It's and I mean that's the funny thing. It's like once you put something out, it kind of is like a snapshot of who you were in that moment,
Yes.
what you thought, what you felt. And unlike art, we are not static. We change.
Yeah, thank God.
So,
Thank God.
and even the act of doing that and reflecting on the things maybe that you were or that went into it, um, even that changes you, I think. Even just the
And
act of like birthing it just
yep.
changes you.
Yeah, because if I ever was forced to sit and listen to my old podcasts, like the one I used to do called the Love Examiner in 2017, when I was like, I'm single, but I know everything, and like I want to give you guys love and sex and dating advice. I'm a bad bitch. I'm never settling down. I'm amazing. And now I'm like, I look back and I'm like, oh my cringe. I hope no one took my advice. I hope nobody was listening. But you gotta own it. It's your art.
Yeah, especially in context and everything, right? It's like,
In
it,
the capsules, like you said, like it's a time capsule of who you were,
mhm,
when you
mhm.
created it.
I just kind of love like this whole concept of like this is what I'm really passionate about and love, and I'm going to put my whole heart and soul into making sure that this is a great product. And then over here, I can just create, and it doesn't matter if it's my magnum opus. It's just I need to create. I need to make stuff that means something to me, even if at this later I'm going to cringe at it, but I'm still going to make it. I
Yes,
love
I
that.
that is that's what I'm working towards continuing to do. And then
Mhm,
putting it out for the
mhm.
world to see and hear is a whole different thing because you can create it in your living room, but you know, I'm a perfectionist, so if it's not perfect, if I'm not immediately good at something, or if what I've created is not what I consider to be
Yeah.
great, oh, I hate it. I get so cringed out. I want to just burn the whole thing down. Yeah.
I struggle with that where if I'm not making my perfect thing right out the gate, then I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. And then, but I don't have that freedom like you do, where or the chutzpah like you do to kind of just get stuff out there. I'm like, this is crap. I'm not gonna. Nobody's ever gonna see this, and at
You got to
least,
drink more. You
yeah,
just got to drink more. Drink, post, and log out. That is the
a week from now I'll
Well,
regret it, but
but I mean, that's a really good, I mean, maybe not necessarily drink, but like just the idea of how you kind of, in a way, I don't want to say like separate, but like you just do it without, you do it in a way where you don't overthink it. And maybe you overthink it after. That's
yes.
every, I think, creative person does that, but just the I don't know, the fortitude, the energy to just like do it, just put it out there, even in the first place. Because so many people have like a block to even sharing it. And what do
Yeah.
you think is like, what do you think about like the whole external validation part of it, of
Oof.
how, even thinking about like, oh, sharing something and this is for people to interact with or engage with, and even having a feeling about how are people gonna receive it, like what do you think about all of that, like because that could also be a motivator
Yeah.
as
I
well.
I want to be immune to it. I really want to be immune to the whole concept of requiring external validation and likes and follows and um I will say for my short form content, that's important. So like when I throw on a wig and dance around to fucking Samantha Mumba, like if 0 people comment like and like it does nothing on TikTok, I'm probably gonna take it down. Cause I'm like, "Ooh, I'm cringed out. Maybe it was just cringe. I'm gonna take it down." But with the podcast for uh podcasting in general for me has just been a very big struggle in getting a listenership. And like I said, I started in 2017. I had one for a few years about love and dating, and my friends would listen, and like my people I knew on South Beach, like the people listened because they're like, "Oh, is he talking shit about me? Like, oh, who's the guy he's talking about?" Like, it kind of caught like a little like had a little buzz within like the 15 people I talked to, and then after that one, I created one about pop culture, and that one did a little bit better. But when I say better, I mean like 20 plays, 30 plays an episode, 50. And then when I first started to receive external validation for podcasting, which is my love, was when during the pandemic, when I was writing this book and spiraling off the fucking edge, I made a podcast about my mental health called Depressed Funny People. I think that one's still up. It might still be up. And this is the thing, I create these things, abandon them, and run away. But I started talking about my own mental health spiral during the pandemic and how was I dealing with the political situation in America and like dealing with friendships. And I found a few people that I was friends with that were therapists and they were willing to go on the show and talk. And I got them on Zoom meetings. And I started to have random people reach out to me. Not a lot, but at least like 5, 10 people being like, they had no idea who they were, saying, "Oh, this resonated with me. I felt this." And I was like, people I don't know interested in the show? That's weird. Maybe I'm good at this. I don't know. But with podcasting, it just like the anonymity factor, right? Of just being able to not be seen, use your voice, put it out, and walk away is a lot easier to create without external validation than content for things like TikTok or Instagram, where the likes are required in order for people to go be directed to your content. I didn't start to really feel it until I would say over the last year, and even more specifically, the last 6 to 8 months with this true crime podcast. In the beginning, I started to meet people that I'd never known, never just random people finding the show within that first first 2 years, year to 2 years. And that was weird to me. But I said, you know what? It's like 10 people. Cool. Maybe I just found 10 kindred soul. Kindred? I'm gonna say Kendrick. That's Kendrick Lamar. Kindred souls that they think I'm cool. It wasn't until I would say the last 6 months when my listenership picked up for some reason. Because I would take like 3, 4, 5 month hiatuses from this podcast. Like I've had it for almost 3 years and I only have like 68 episodes. Um, and once I came back and started like manically producing episodes like very quickly and very like not is it maniacally? I don't know. Very like just like I was crazily like dropping like 3 a week sometimes when I was like, feeling the mood. And
Wow.
once I started doing that and being more consistent, I just now my listenership, I got a notification in January that I had like 5,000 plays total
Oh,
in 3 years. And then it jumped to uh 10,000, but it's like just under 18,000 now. This has happened all over 6 months. And people keep
wow.
writing me and they keep telling me like, I love your storytelling. I love your style of storytelling. I love this show. I love the way you're so, and I'm like, I'm on year 3. Because the first 2 years was, I've had my 10 people that really liked the show. Like there was like 6 to 8, and 3 of those are my best friends. So it was like fine.
Mhm.
3 of my best friends and 7 other people. I'm like, this is cool. But over the last 6 to 8 months, now I'm like, it's a little uncomfortable, but in a good way. It's a little uncomfortable. It's like, I don't like getting a lot of compliments. So I was like, oh, shit. Okay, I guess sticking it out for 3 years of doing the show and getting, your 50, 70, 80 likes, or not likes, plays, your 50 plays, your 20 plays. Some episodes are 17 plays and you just got to like run with it. But if it's something you love to do, that anonymity factor of being like, no one knows who I am. If people see that I'm not successful or failing at it, like they don't know who I am. I don't care. That was kind of what drove me to keep doing it. Cause I'm like, I don't take it personal against me because no one really knows who I am when I create it. But now I feel like I'm forced to like I'm establishing so many connections with these like strangers that I'm like, well, now I want to show them who I am and I want to put my face out a little more. And I did a Q&A episode last week where I talked about my personal life and told them things.
Mm.
And so now that
Wow.
I have I wouldn't say, I guess it is the validation to know that I'm going down the right lane, and the constant support from people now, it's making me want to own the art more. So I kind of had the reverse way of
Um,
into it. Like I didn't start off like, this is my thing. I was like, imposter syndrome. That's what it is.
oh yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
I would say that it might even have that reaction too, because it maybe the interaction is also more meaningful through the podcast. As far as like, for instance, like on TikTok, it's very kind of passive. It's very instantaneous. It's quick, and it's not. Um, well, I don't want to say it's not meaningful because it's just a different thing. It's not as in depth, let's say.
Correct.
Whereas with the podcast, you have to write an episode, you have to basically perform the episode, the storytelling, all that, and it's a longer form kind of um, format, so people have to really engage with it. They're engaging with more of you in a way,
Yes.
because it's like you said, they compliment your way of storytelling, your voice, the way that you choose to tell a particular story. It's you have to engage with it more, and so I think the feedback from that is probably a lot more motivating, a lot
Yeah,
more
and
meaningful.
it's more of a commitment to sit and listen to me talk for an hour a week as opposed to watching me dance to
Right.
Ashley Simpson for 45
Like,
seconds.
yeah.
In a way, because anyone could do that. Like I could watch anything for 30 seconds, but will I sit for an hour a week and listen to this person talk, or 50 minutes or 30 minutes? Like that's where it's like, oh, they really what's that the actress, what's her name? And it's just because I want to like make this reference, I can't remember. Hold on, I gotta look it up. Hang on, because I want to quote her, but I don't want to like not. Hold on, sorry, I'm the worst. Wait,
Oh, you're fine.
wait, here it is. Oh my gosh, Sally Fields. Good God.
Sally Fields.
Sally Fields' 1985 Academy Award acceptance speech when she's like, "You like me, you really like me." That I'm in my Sally
Oh
Fields
yeah.
era right now, where I'm like,
Oh
okay, 300 plays an episode, 400. I'm like, oh, how did we get here? And I'm like, well, bitch, it took you 3 fucking years and a lot of consistency. And now,
yeah, yeah.
you're because even now, like, I'm not even at the point where I could still like, I can't really monetize because they're like, they want like thousands of plays to get sponsorships and to get picked up by a network. But I have my own
Hmm.
personal, this is my, my level of accomplishment, even though it's still not recognized by like anyone who could pay me for it. They don't give a fuck about where I'm at right now. But to me, I'm finally in my place of feeling like hearing, like you said, that validation of you wanting to listen to me talk every week for an hour. Like, oh shit, that is meaningful. That carries weight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's kind of even like kind of the impetus behind even us doing this because especially in this environment where more and more everything kind of keeps getting commodified and monetized and people are increasingly, I would say, pressured to, hustle and what's the term, the gig economy, that whole thing of
Yes.
turn everything into something that can generate revenue for you.
Monetize
um
everything,
yeah, we
including
kind of
yourself.
wanted, yeah, especially yourself, yeah, and we kind of just wanted to put more creativity and just the pure joy and meaningfulness of creation front and center. So it's like it really should be about like enjoying what you're doing, putting it out there, connecting with people responding to it. It doesn't have to be mass market appeal kind of thing in order for it to still be valuable to people and
Yep.
valuable to you. Because think about like how even just doing it, uh, my sense is that you're the type of person that you just have like this really strong drive to just create and to just like express yourself. Like it's like if you didn't have this method to do it, you would figure out this other way to do it, right? So it's
Yep.
like
But no, everything you're saying is so it's so. And you know what's funny is like obviously like most podcasters are like the goal is to get us picked up by a network and be sponsored. And honestly, like that would be great, right? But there's so much freedom when you're not on someone's payroll and your payroll is not what do you call it? Chained to your creativity, or your creativity is not chained to a payroll
exactly.
and someone else's idea of who you should be and what they're paying you to do, and that sense of obligation, you know.
Yeah, because I was even thinking about that and like um going back to the taking like hiatus and things like that. Once you start bringing in like monetization schemes and especially like you said under someone else's payroll, then it becomes an obligation. Then it becomes how can I generate content? Because it needs to keep going
Yep.
because then your livelihood is tied to it, and
Yep.
it kind of starts getting further and further away from what are your creative goals, like what is fulfilling you and what fulfills the people that you're communicating with. Because to me, it's an audience is to me that's part of like community, right?
Yep.
But a lot of times it's not treated that way. Audience is treated more like a market that
Yep.
can be exploited, right? Like it's not so much about connecting with people on some human level. It's more like I just need the numbers, right? I need the listenership. I need the mass market, right? So it's like,
Yep. And that's where
how
the
do
clickbait comes
you
in. And
how do you like stay grounded in and keep yourself like going in the direction that you want to go?
it is such a work in progress. Um, it's such a like, I think for me, how I've stayed grounded with this, I'll just talk about this endeavor in particular because I feel like I've started and stopped a lot, and I had to kind of
Mm.
get what do you call it? Not closure with, but like kind of acceptance, radical acceptance of the fact that like not everything I do is going to last forever. Not every endeavor I want to do is going to last forever. Not everything's going to be a smash hit. Not everything's going to be something I want to do forever. And I toyed with the idea of like maybe I need this to just stop this true crime shit. Like maybe I don't know, maybe I don't know if I feel like doing it. But then hearing from people that said like, hey, I had a rough day. Hey, I'm going through some dark shit. And you've been able to just kind of light my path for the day. And I was just kind of took it on as like not a responsibility, but it kind of gave me a little bit more of a purpose in life to an extent. So I feel like that's something that people struggle with, especially as a creative when you work in a corporate America field that you know does not fulfill you, doesn't do anything for you, because that's my case. Like it does nothing for my spirit or who I am, or I don't walk away feeling like, yeah, bitch, I fucking did that shit. Like I'm so accomplished. I feel so good about myself today. No, I walk away trying not to fucking scream. And then I pull out and I try not to take that shitty energy with me home because I don't want my husband to fucking be dragged down by my bullshit. And so I come to this art form of creating the podcast, and then I hear from people, and I do take that on as something that feels good to me, and it feels good to them for when I create, and I allow myself to let go of what I felt before I put my headphones on and before I put the mic in front of me, and just be in the moment and pretend like I'm sitting with my friends. So it's become a bit of an escape for me now, and I think that has really kept me on the path of creating because it's very hard to stay on that. I feel like in the other areas like writing and even drawing, I got back into drawing this year and songwriting and played my guitar and like stuff like that. That's tougher. I feel like those are the things that I do when I know no one's looking and I don't intend for anyone to look. But I will tell you what, it is a big struggle as a creative to make things for fun without thinking about how someone else would critique it once you've been doing it for so long. Because I found myself drawing,
Mhm.
right? And so I would watch tutorials on YouTube and then just freehand. And halfway through, I would get frustrated because I was like, well, I'm not finishing it and uh, I'm not going to feel accomplished. I can't post it. I can't. I'm like, why do you even care about posting it? Then I have these arguments with myself while I'm sitting there. I should be drawing, but I'm having an inner dialogue argument about like, why are you obsessed with like the idea of needing to post this? Or with the songwriting, why are you thinking about audience reach or like who would resonate this would resonate with? Just fucking do it. Just and so I think the only area of creativity that I have that I have actual true freedom with would be the music side because I'm not a good singer at all, and I know I would never ever like put that shit out there unless it's through a third party, so I'm able to just do whatever I want. But with the podcast, a lot more thought goes in and editing and the whole thing, how the production side. So I just have to really, with the podcasting, I focus on the people it's impacting, and I take on a new fun. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a burden, but on the obligation of saying, "Hey, I'm here to make someone's day. I'm here to spread some chaos and have a good time with some people today." And just trying to stay creative with the way I write it and the way I express it because it does resonate with people. And then with the other things, it's just really trying to do things that I know I'll never actually put out into the universe. And that's the only time I'll have fun doing it. Because anything else, you tell me there's a way that I could like, oh, you're gonna need to post. I'm not. I'm gonna stress out. I'm gonna like over edit. So that's kind of
Yeah.
where my head goes.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you want to like get into it? Like, what are well, I don't know, like to try to stay like positive, moving forward kind of energy, but like how, how, I don't know, because I feel like the whole kind of purpose of this project is like we're trying to discover, we're trying to learn about how do people kind of keep that creative spirit and keep that drive to express and find and be fulfilled by just the joy of what doing creative things, expressing yourself
Yeah.
can kind of create. So it's kind of like I'm always interested in, like, I mean, even if we don't have to have like an answer, but like
Yeah.
beyond just even sharing, like, well, we struggle with this, but I don't know if you have anything that has helped you in the past or
I think for
even is
me,
currently helping.
I think it's a couple things. I think one is experimentation, so not being afraid
Mm,
to try things. But also I think staying true to who you are and remembering the things that have brought you joy throughout your life. So like, for example, like writing is something I said I started when I was a kid. Then I felt like I was too cool for it in high school, and college I would dabble, and then I would write a little bit more. But then I got to the point where I felt like, because I would blog for myself, I would blog for, like, I worked with one media outlet. I would write scripts for like my own camera stuff, and it had to be funny and stuff because that's my lane. But I felt like if it wasn't purposeful, if it wasn't for a certain medium I was working for, if it wasn't for an outlet or a paid gig, that didn't have value in it. And I think sometimes you just gotta write shit that you don't care if no one will see. You have to create art. What did you enjoy as a kid? Like, I had an era where I loved drawing throughout high school. It's my biggest thing. I love drawing. Then you become an adult, and you're like, I gotta be cool, or I gotta focus on these two things, or I gotta deal with my career. And you forget. But I went and I bought a whole bunch of pencils like 6 months ago. And I started drawing, and it brought me a lot of like joy. Like, I was like, this is fun. Oh fuck, this is actually cool. Oh, that's right. I did love doing this for years. So just even if it's like fucking, I don't know. Like, if, like, for example, I bought this, like, okay, experimentation. I went to Michael's and I bought this
mm.
fucking like knitting kit, and it was to knit like a real Harry Styles doll. And I bought it. I took it out of the package. I read the instructions, and I was like, "Fuck this shit." So I returned it. But I put myself out there, and I
Yeah.
tried it. And then my husband,
That,
at the same Michael strip, I had him buy this like action figure. You can build your own action figure. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like a box where it
huh.
comes in a whole bunch of little pieces, and you build this like transformer guy. And it's not Legos, it's like random shit. I'll have to find it for you. And even Andres, like my husband, he was sitting there, and we like watched TV, and he like put together this whole trans. I'm like, you're not gonna finish that. I bought it. I'm like, you're never gonna do that. I know how you roll. But it was also me kind of like being like, because he likes to prove me wrong. So he was just like, fuck you, no. And he sat and he put it together, and he was like looking at it, and he
Wow.
was like, I just saw him look over, and he got to have fun. And he was like, that was cool. Because he's a sports guy. Like, he plays soccer. He plays for like, usually he plays for like 2 to 3 teams a week. Right now he only plays for one team a week. He watches, like, soccer is like life, soccer, food, and whiskeys. But I found out that he used to love drawing, and he loves little creative fucking things. And sometimes you just got to place it in front of him, or place it in front of yourself. Go in Michael's and buy some random shit and be like, just try this. And, just have fun with it. I think that's the biggest thing. Try to have fun. And if it doesn't bring you joy and you're not having fun, take a break. Because I did that with podcasting. I did it with true crime. I stepped back, and there were like 4 or 5 months where my listeners heard nothing. 5 months, 6 months. And now I'm back, and I feel the joy again. And what's crazy is, even after a long ass hiatus, I'm back, and now I have more listeners than I ever had before.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So maybe that joy is felt. Maybe people can feel it. Maybe the universe feels it. I don't know. When you're
Yeah,
walking in your purpose.
I think that's like, I think you really hit on the head. Like, that's when you're really driven to do it and passionate about it, and it's like, I think it shows in the work. I think it that that comes through, and I think that's always going to resonate more with people than if they feel like they're being sold a product that is meant to be consumed. That's what,
Correct.
like, this is going to be like my thing forever of, I hate the word content.
Ooh,
This is like the thing
that
I'm probably going to bring up
umbrella.
all the time. Yeah. Because the reason I hate it is because I get sort of why maybe people kind of just colloquially use it. It's kind of like a catch-all. It can just mean anything that you make, whatever. But it's such a like commodified, like, marketing speak kind of term that it's really reductive. It's about just output, just stuff, just
Yeah.
plastic, like, just just things, and it's meant to be consumed. It's meant this is just part of like a very empty exchange, and that's why I'm always going to be for like just be like specific, just say what it is and just say what it is, and I
That's
and
whew.
words I think are so important because I think people should just call things what they are, and in all things,
Yes,
and
across the board,
yeah,
especially
and
on the apps.
and and yeah, but I think the way that you use language affects the way you think about things, right? So it's like if you are constantly referring to everything that you make as content, it's like doesn't that devalue it a bit in your mind,
That's
especially
it.
when its only value is to be consumed in
Yep.
exchange for money?
Because at what point do you
So
stop referring yourself as an artist or a writer or a blogger or if you do skits as an actor or whatever it is? When you just say it, sometimes when you use umbrella terms like that, you can get lost in the sauce
exactly, yeah.
within your
And it's
own
like it
valuation of yourself.
oh yeah, exactly. And it's like there's utility, right? There's utility, but I still think that whenever possible, it's probably best to redefine it because I always, even me personally, like I always felt kind of like off. Like there were a number of years where I'd be like, well, people always ask when you meet people, right? They always ask like, well, what do you do? Or they want to figure you out. They want to know your
Hmm.
identity, whatever. And it's like, when did I stop saying, oh, I'm an artist or I'm a writer or what? It's like if you write, you're a writer. If you make art, it's how you view yourself and how you kind of put that forward. I think that really affects how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the work that you're putting out there,
Yep.
and maybe that's even enough to just inspire you even.
I I agree 3000%. I think catch-all phrases are great for certain things, but not for everything. And not for your artwork when you want to, especially when you're struggling with valuing it, right? Because like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like being
Oh yeah.
specific is super important, and finding your niche and finding your own lane within the lanes. Name it. You don't just have to say I'm a content creator. If you make funny skits online, you could say like I act. And acting, if acting is your passion, don't be ashamed and have this what do you call it, like imposter syndrome about saying you're an actor just because you make skits online. You could probably get more views. I bet there's people that make skits online that get more views than a lot of actors get in major films, more recognition. So you're an actor if that's what you want to be. Don't just say, oh, a content creator, because like you said, it does devalue the work, and it does say, oh, she makes TikToks for a living. When it's like, okay,
Yeah.
yes, I do, but what's in those TikToks? Some of these people's video editing is so insane. You are an editor. You are an
Yeah.
artist. They like I see some of the editing that
Video
goes into these.
production. Yeah.
You're a production. You're a producer. Like people that write funny songs on TikTok. I'm like, bitch, you're a songwriter because if Taylor Swift got a hold of that shit, it'd be a rap. And I know you're doing it for fun, but girl,
Yeah.
you ate that up.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be
Yeah.
ashamed of owning the fact that you have these skills. And I do think, like you said, that is huge when it comes to like establishing the value of your own work, naming it.
Yeah. And think about like how I just find it interesting that we often define ourselves by what we get paid to do.
Yes.
Like,
And when you don't get
think
paid for your
about,
creative shit, you're like, I guess I just dabble.
but you dedicate time and energy, and sometimes, yeah, even like, money. Money goes into equipment.
Girl,
Um,
Canva is not free. What's the other one? CapCut is not free.
yeah,
That's like $50 a month right there. So yeah, I mean, it's true. We end up I think we end up a hobbyfication of everything where we just are so quick to call something a hobby when it's like, sure, it can be, but you also there's more to that, you know? Because I've had to get
yeah,
past that whole hobbification of like everything I do that I enjoy. Because my friends are like, bitch, you wrote a book. That means you're a published author. And I'm like, well, then I do this whole disclaimer and I do everything I
gosh.
just started this podcast with and devalue my shit down to the point of being like, I don't own that. But shittier people stand behind shittier work.
Yep,
I'm sorry.
that's
There are
true.
shitty humans
That's true.
that stand behind shitty work and call themselves authors, call themselves other titles that are big titles in America that I'm not going to say out loud because we're not going there right now. People have a lot of titles behind them where they don't have the qualifications for. And I feel like sometimes we have the qualifications, but because we're not getting paid and we're not on a payroll for it, we become apprehensive about even owning that title. But bitch, it's all
That's so
self-given. It's all
interesting.
self-appointed. It's all fucking
Yeah.
self-appointed. Own your shit, bitch. If you get danced on a pole once, you're a stripper, bitch. In my eyes, do what the fuck you want to do. Be a stripper. That's what you love. You love the pole, bitch. You're a fucking stripper. You got one in your living room. You're a pole dancer by definition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put that shit in your bio,
Exactly.
bitch. Put that shit in your bio. Don't waste
No,
any more time. Put
perfect.
it in your bio.
All right. Well, I think we're kind of winding down, but is there anything else that you kind of wanted to like, I don't know, mention or tumble around or I mean,
I mean, for me, I guess I would just say, don't allow your uh, don't allow real life to take away the fantasy that we have for the fantasies that we have and like the dissociation like how we like dip off into our fantasy land. Like don't let real life and real life situations ruin that. And I just talked about this on my podcast actually, like last episode I think it was. I like was sitting there like spiraling before I recorded that morning, and then I made a mantra for myself that told myself this. I said, you deserve fun, you deserve laughter, you deserve relaxation, and you've earned the right to dissociate and step away from reality by any means that work for you. And that's what I had to keep repeating to myself, because even with recording the podcast or stepping into creative shit, because I know there's things that I need to be doing or I want to do in my real life, I was like, fuck, I should be doing that right now. And then I told myself, that was a 28-minute episode of the show, right? I took 28 minutes out of my day to have fun today. If I could not fix all my real life problems in 28 minutes, I should probably shut the fuck up and enjoy those 28 minutes. Because if you can't fix all your problems, if you can't find a new job, if you can't, fix your relationship with your fucking partner in 28 minutes, but you can watch a show that you like for 28 minutes and have a good time, watch the fucking show. Paint a fucking picture. Go knit a Harry Styles doll. Like, do something fun for 28 fucking minutes. Or however long that is in your life that you feel like you just can't part with that time. You really have to make time to be creative and do things that you enjoy.
perfect. I think that's a perfect way to sum it up.
Thanks. That's my Oprah Winfrey
Yeah.
of the fucking
Your
moment of the
your
fucking
closing comment.
night. Yes.
Well, I mean, I think that's about our time. But Anthony, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. This was a great conversation.
Thank you
I
for
loved
having
it.
me. This is my first podcast I've been
Yeah.
on in years. If you guys want to hear me blab on, just go Bitch I Can't Pod. It's on Bitch I Can't Podcast is the name of the name of the podcast is Bitch I Can't. But I have the Instagram handles at Bitch I Can't Pod if you want to follow me on there, or I think my Instagram is Mr. Anthony A. I think. I don't fucking know. Whatever. You'll find me on there. Bitch I Can't
We'll have
Podcast. It's somewhere. I don't fucking know. I
yeah,
don't know
we'll
my
have
shit.
we'll have it in like the description. We'll add in all
Okay, look for the description, y'all, because
the
I don't even.
social.
I'm sitting here stuttering through my own handles, but yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Yes, and Jordan, it was so nice to meet you too.
Yeah, I really enjoy hearing all these perspectives because it kind of reinforces what Obed and I are talking about all the time, to hear from other creatives who've done it and getting out there. So thank you for your perspective.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you
Love
guys.
it. Love it. Well, that about wraps it up today for the Creative Navigators. Tune in next time. We'll be talking about something else. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I will be
Cool.
tuned in. So guys, make sure you tune in.
Yay.
Good shit here.
All right.
All right.
Thank
See ya.
you.
See you around.
Yeah, I'll see you around.
Okay.
All right.
When it comes, and I feel like a lot of us feel like we're just out here by ourselves, like raw dogging it, like alone, and we're just like,
Yes.
no, there's a ton of people who are trying to figure out how to pay your bills, but also feel creatively fulfilled. And that's
Right.
like really a fucking hard ass crossroads.
I think there's like an interesting. It's never been more accessible to get eyes on your art, but at the same time, it's also the divide between people who can like make it with their art versus people who are just trying to create. Like that's bigger than it's ever been
Ooh.
too.
Okay, you need to edit that part and put that back into the show because that was some real ass shit. There is a big divide, and it's crazy because you don't even know how you feel so powerless sometimes. Like, how do I get that viral moment? Like, how do I do it? Yeah. Oh, I'm.
And how do you be ready
Mhm.
for it too? Because
Yeah.
if you're not ready for having
Oh.
that much eyes on your stuff, then that can be tough too.
Which I am not. I want it. I'm not there. Which is why I'm kind of glad that like the viral shit is like silly shit because it's like, and by viral I mean like it's like a common cold. It's not a full virus. It's like a common cold, like a couple 100,000 here and there.
A couple
I
hundred
don't know if I'd
thousand
be
is
ready.
pretty good to me. Like that's a lot.
TikTok
I don't
is
know. Maybe for TikTok it's not
That's a
because there's so
thing. Because then I
much.
then I see some girl sneeze and say like my coochie, and then she's got like 4 million. And I used to make a lot of fucking content where I would do story
Ah,
time with a wig and I would talk about like, oh, this is a funny story. And I would have to, like I said, like figure out the story, how I'm gonna tell it, wear a wig. It was a whole thing. No one gave a fuck. Those had like 200 views. I put on a wig, dance to Ashley Simpson, 220 fucking thousand views. And the comments won't stop. Uh I have to like a couple celebrities like repost and like my shit. Like I don't know if anyone knows like
wow.
this Mexican singer Anna Barbara.
Yeah.
So Anna Barbara,
Wow.
I danced to that song Bandido. I sang it at karaoke at Georgie's, recorded it, posted it. The whole Mexican community said I was invited to the carne asada. They
Oh
were
my God,
obsessed with
that's
me.
so good.
Then Anna Barbara reposted it, and then she
Oh my
followed
God.
me. And then Fifi Dobson reposted one of my videos and
Wow.
commented, and I was like, for the silly
What?
shit I do. I'm like, I have a whole podcast. I do videos. Like I write,
But
and
you
no
know
one
what? Like,
cares.
but that may especially now, that silly shit is so important because
Yeah, we need to laugh.
it makes them laugh. It makes them, it like, it doesn't just, it's not just entertaining. It's not just like makes them laugh and like, it, there's, I don't know. I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, it's like you're letting people in, or there's like a familiarity that somehow like speaks to everyone in a certain type of way because you're not making fun of anybody really.
Yeah.
You're being still. I feel like you're expressing something that a lot of people are feeling in like maybe in their more private way,
Yes.
like dancing in front of the mirror. Like who didn't do that when they were a kid,
Like a
especially
kid.
little gay
I'm like,
boys.
yes, yes. I'm like yesterday, girl. I was a kid.
You
Like
know what I'm
5 minutes
saying? And it's
ago.
like
Yes. It's
people do
relatable.
that, and yeah,
It,
very relatable. And I think people really like these kind of like, which is something I think that the internet has been kind of good for, is sharing a lot of like those kind of like smaller,
yes.
private, kind of funny,
Yeah.
silly things that we maybe felt like, oh, that this is just we did that, like, or my
Yep.
family did that, and
Yep.
then oh no, everybody else did that too. It's like it's kind of,
It's
I don't
never
know.
been easier
I
to
think
find your
that's
tribe. Finding your tribe
yeah.
of people that like do weird shit that you do. You're like, oh, bitch, really? You do that after you eat ice cream too? Like, what? I'm not alone. So,
Mhm.
Do you find
yeah.
that discouraging, Anthony, when you like it's like you really put your heart and soul into your true crime podcast, but that doesn't get near as many eyes as your dancing video, or is it just two completely different things for you?
So those are two completely different things for me, but I will say that the videos I did that were the story times that I was like, because I would talk about like all my religious trauma, but like in like a funny way where I'm like, this bitch is fucking ridiculous. I work so hard and I send it to my best friends and they're like crying, laughing, and then I post it and it's like, oh, 79 views. So that I feel like because video editing is more is a
Mhm.
lot. The audio editing is a lot too, but like I said, like I've been doing that for 3 years, and I've been doing this show for 3 years, doing it for like 9, with no one caring. I just not no one because the people, my listeners matter, but the masses weren't like all eyes weren't on me, so it just felt like it was a private fun
Mm-hmm.
thing. But that video shit, I'm like, bitch, I put a lot of work in this video editing. As soon as I get drunk, dance around my living room with a wig on once, now you guys are obsessed. I'm like, what? So to me, that was a little bit of a mind fuck. I
Mm.
wouldn't say, not that insulting is not the word, but it just, I stopped doing story times.
Gotcha.
And I kind of liked those, but I was just like, I'm a little pissed. I'm a little bitter. I'm like, all the work you put in, sometimes that means nothing.
Yeah.
If people just care about a 20-second of you farting or whatever the fuck happens on the internet and everyone's obsessed with it. Like, you could monetize
Yeah,
off just being doing dumb shit and become a millionaire.
but maybe also the format doesn't really lend itself. It. I feel like especially TikTok is so fine-tuned for a certain kind of thing,
Oh, it's so fine-tuned. Even the
right?
story times, I feel like my story times were maybe it was the camera angle was too good, or
Mm.
maybe I had a ring light and it should have been just been me in my car eating a mukbang talking about getting punched by my dad or something. I don't fucking know. My dad didn't punch me, but I'm just saying maybe that's what it should have been, talking about trauma in a car with, like, king crab legs in my lap on a plate.
Or
But
putting
I
on
was,
makeup while you do it.
yeah, like, watch me put on my eyeliner and my makeup while I talk about, like, getting beat by my grandma or something. Like, that's what I should have done. But I look back and I'm like, I thought I was doing it right, but maybe I'm old. I'm like 30. I'll be 38 soon. Maybe I'm just old. And I was like, this is how the YouTubers did it. And TikTok doesn't give a fuck. They're like, old man, just dance. So I guess that's what I'm relegated to now, which is fine because I enjoy doing that too. But it was a little bit. I think it felt like a slap in the face, which is that's an
Mm.
ego thing. But I was just like,
Mm.
I work so fucking hard, and none of you guys
Mm.
don't give a shit. Oh yeah.
It's like the masses want dance is what they want. Dance monkey. They don't want.
From me.
Mm.
That was another thing I did to release my ego from, is I was like, story time is a huge thing on TikTok, or people tell stories. They don't want my stories in the
Mm.
masses. They want my dancing. And then there's people that love my
Mm.
podcasting, but that middle ground is just, I didn't hit the pocket of where you can't take it personal.
Yeah.
And that's something I've had to rewind and been like, just don't take it personal. Don't go off the deep end and say I'm not making videos anymore. It's like, no, just reel it in. It's just, that's not your lane.
Yeah.
Or maybe keep doing it for 9 more years and see what happens, I guess.
When it finally does take off, then you'll be
Yeah,
settled. But after
yeah,
9
There you
years,
go. There
literally,
you go.
I feel like you just, like, you have to die or something, and then everyone will love your shit later on, and like post hummus, they'll be like, oh, I love their stuff. They were so talented. So, like, you never know how it goes.
Wow. Quite a
I love how we
balance.
just
Quite a
continued like
balancing.
a second
Yeah, we
podcast after this one just ended. That was a
Part
false
two.
end, guys. That was a false ending.
That was a false end.
the trick
Yeah,
of
it's like-
editing.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're gonna have to cut that chunk and put it on the end.
You got to save that. Like, this is the bonus episode for Patreon. If you sign up for Patreon only,
Oh my god.
you'll get the rest of the conversation.
I kind of latched on to that. My experience with creation has been the same, whereas like I would put my soul into some certain things and no traction. And then Howard and I know each other, as we're both former Jehovah's Witnesses. And I just made a 90-minute video rambling about being a Jehovah's Witness. And that shit went viral. And I'm like, why is this getting 1.5 million views? And
Shut
other stuff is not getting any kind of traction. So then I
Wait,
learned
you
not
guys-
to take it
sorry.
personal. No, go ahead, it's good.
No. I was stuck on the Jehovah's Witness. You keep going now.
Yeah. So
Because
that's
you
how
guys met as Jehovah's Witnesses.
we met with the former online community of Jehovah's Witnesses. We found each other.
Not us all having religious trauma. How fun!
We find each other.
Exciting.
The universe just lined us up. But no, I feel that you put so
Yeah.
much work into your other shit. Then you rant for 90 minutes.
Yeah, you rant for 90 minutes, and that's what people care about.
You never know what people are going to care about. And I think that's the most frustrating thing as a creative in the areas that you're trying to monetize. When you're like, I would love to take this serious and like make this a thing. I'm going to pick this lane. I'm going to go down it. And then the universe is just like, bitch, you thought, just
Yeah.
kidding. Ha, never mind. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That's what okay. So let me grab the wig and go dance in the living room again.
I feel like it's such a like balance, right? Like you have to balance what's gonna get the attention, or what's gonna click with people, right? And then what is it that you actually want to do?
Yep.
And that you're good at, that you enjoy,
It's a hard balance
that's always
to
the tough
find.
part.
It's a hard balance to
Yeah.
find. So we're all working on it
Mhm.
because I don't know if true crime is what I want to do for the rest of my podcasting career, but
Right.
it's something that I'm enjoying doing now, and I love the community that I've accidentally built while doing it. So yeah, that's where she's at.
I would say true crime is pretty big right now. I would think you probably just
It's
wait on that viral hit, and then that'll be it.
it's huge, but I think it's oversaturated
Ah.
in a big way. Like there's a million. I will say that people
Mhm.
do tell me that I have a unique approach to it. Number one, I don't have a I don't have a co-host, which is rare for a lot of true crime. And then also my storytelling style is I tried to make it as unique to myself as possible, where I just talk shit and write my own scripts and no one's going to sound just like me.
Mhm.
So I think that has kind of been
That's a big
the saving grace, but it's not going to be for
Mm.
everybody. And there's so much true crime out there that it's like so many true crime podcasts out there that it's like
they start tripping over the same stories.
getting we all share the same stories. Getting a big break in that is tough stuff. You have a better luck dancing to Ashley Simpson.
That's
Much
the
better
quick.
luck.
Whatever you can get, the quick dopamine is the more. Yeah.
Correct. A glass of wine and a little Ashley Simpson goes a long way.
Wow.
Yes. Well, let
Perfect.
me know when the religious trauma episode comes up, and we'll another podcast. It's another podcast. But
Hey,
boy.
you could do true crime / religious trauma. I mean, that's kind of true crime,
well,
no?
those go so. It's a true crime against humanity, but they
Yeah.
also
They
go
get-
very hand in hand.
They get dark. They get
They
very
go-
dark sided.
Oh, I've recorded an episode about.
Side.
I've recorded 2 episodes that involved religion.
Religious cults.
Religion, and I
Whoa.
haven't gone to my cults yet. 'Cause, I want to have my Jonestown moment. I'm really excited for
Oh
that.
my god.
But one about this chick named Margareta Peters who just did some crazy shit. It's a fun one. It's a fun episode. So
Whoa, that's wild. That's wild.
everyone's like, yeah, the death of all those people. Anthony, get your shit together. No, but it was funny. I swear. I swear. But
No,
yes.
but it's cool.
Yes. Well, I'm so excited. Thank you guys for having me again.
Yeah,
This is so
yeah.
fun.
Thank you.
I feel like we're at cocktail hour with friends.
Oh yeah, we need to make that happen for sure.
Yes, I'm down. So down.
Okay. I think we're winding down for
Yes.
real.
Again, yes.
Yes.
I'm
Editing.
done.
We'll get some of that stuff in there.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thanks for joining.
Yes, for sure.
And yeah, we'll just see y'all next time.
See you next
Have a good
time.
one.
Say bye, Whiskey. Don't be rude.
Bye.
Say bye.
Bye, Whiskey.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Wait, oops, I just turned off video. How do I leave? I'm like grandma over here. Oh, the leave button.
The leave button right there.
Thank you for taking this journey with us. How are you creatively expressing yourself this week? We're gathering a community of creatives, so join us in our Discord or connect with us on social media. You can find all of the links below.